Thanks for joining us in the garden today. We are here with Craig from Grange Co-op and we are talking mulching. So we have our supplies here for the person who doesn't know a thing about gardening like myself. How do we even get started?
So first of all, mulching is really important in the fall and winter time. You really want to put your beds to bed for the winter. So there's a few really important things about mulching. One of it is it does reduce erosion from all the rains that we're going to get. And another thing is it's really going to help some of those tender plants when we get down really low cold temperatures. It really helps to have a blanket of insulation on that ground around them. So what you're basically going to do very simply is you're going to have a bag of some type of mulching product. We have a couple different kinds here. But basically you're just going to take your bag, you're going to put a layer on the soil, and then you're going to rake it just about maybe 3-4 inches deep. You want to do you don't want it too thin, but you want to do a nice a layer over your plants or on your beds. Even if there's no plants in there, it's a good idea to go ahead and mulch this time of year.
So what does mulching benefit specifically when it comes to different products that you're going to have in your garden, in your beds? What can it really help with so that those are protected by the time we get into spring?
So one of the specific products or plants that you want to be mulching around that people don't think about too much where we live is blueberries. Blueberries are a very acid-loving plant, and our soils here are not naturally acidic enough for them. So it's important when you planted with an acid mix, but also important to put around acid mulch around them and let those winter rains really drive the acidity into the soil so they'll be ready, first of the spring when they come up, the soil's the way they like it.
So something that has the acid on the bag is what people are going to want to be looking for.
This one here, it's called an acid planting mix. And this is what you would use for blueberries, rhododendrons, azaleas, anything that really likes a low pH number, which means it's acidic.
And what can happen if people aren't mulching going into the fall ahead of the springtime? What will their plants look like? Yeah,
so with certain plants, you're going to have plants that are more cold, not as cold tolerant. If you're not mulching, then you really are going to have more of a risk of them just not coming up. Some of the perennials that aren't quite as cold tolerant, and then also with the acid-loving things, if the acidity is not low enough, over time it inhibits the plant's ability to take up nutrients.
Okay, so it's almost kind of like a blanket for your plants during the winter.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So looking for mulch specifically that has acid in it, are there any other things that people need to know about mulching ahead of this fall?
Not really. If you come into any of our locations and you talk to one of our associates, we can certainly help you find the right type to use for your plants, because like I said, certain ones need acid, certain ones don't. And so that would be like, we have another example here of a soil building conditioner you could use for most of your other plants. If you're doing a garden bed, we have some other, like for vegetable gardens, we have some other products that would be more specific for that. But I would just encourage you to come on in and we can point you in the right direction.
And this is really all you need right here?
Yeah,
this
is it.
So really picking out the mulch itself is the hardest part of doing any of this?
Yes, it is really easy.
Pretty straightforward, easy for even the beginners of gardening.
Even we can do it.
Okay, yeah, no, even I can do this. This is pretty simple. Well, thank you for being with us today, and thanks for joining us in the garden today. For more on mulching, you can head to our website, KDRV.com, and we will see you next time.